They called us crazy for saying French politicians and African leaders had something going on behind closed doors. See, Robert Bourgi, a French-Lebanese political fixer, at the tender age of 80 is exposing all their deeds. Why? Because according to him, his conscience won't let him sleep at night. See, Robert stepped onto the scene in 1980s to a system that was already well oiled. His father, Mohamed Bourgi, was a well-off businessman from Senegal that had ties with Jacques Foucault. Yes, this Jacques Foucault. Oh, I got a better photo. Yes, this is the photo. He's always behind somebody like a shadow. This was the reinforcer of okay, not gonna say that word, Françafrique, in which African countries got their independence on paper, while France kept their unlimited access to resources and cash whenever they felt like knocking at the door. Now, thanks to his father's connection, Robert didn't just inherit his last name, he inherited contacts too. So when he made his way to France, he was already fluent in the art of resource extraction. So guess who he rubbed shoulders with? Jacques Chirac. Not presidential Jacques Chirac, but the mayor of Paris, Chirac, okay? But don't sleep on him because he had his eyes set on Élysée Palace. He just needed some financial encouragement. And that's where Robert came in. He was assigned Chirac's advisor, confidant, liaison, because see, Robert being from Africa, because he grew up in Senegal, he didn't just learn the ropes. He was the rope. Listen, there's a whole system in place for how this works out. So according to Robert, whenever elections were around the corner, Chirac would tell him to send a message to his friends, African leaders, to get in line. Now, within a couple of days, political bagmen from multiple African nations would show up in Paris carrying bags, suitcases, drums, stuffed with millions. This wasn't a one-time hustle. Robert shared an inside look of how casual it was. See, he recalled sitting in Omar Bongo, the former president of Gabon's palace in 1988, waiting to have a chit-chat when former French foreign minister, Ronald Dumas, casually strolled out of his office and without a hint of shame said, "Don't worry, there's still a bit left." Clearly, that's the people's money, but we're gonna let that sink in for a bit. We haven't got into why Robert all of a sudden is talking now. So I guess I'm gonna leave the question with, do you guys think the system's still going on today?